A soldier who served nearly a year in Iraq comes home blind in one eye with an injured back. No longer able to serve, the former private is honorably discharged and then billed for nearly $3,000. The problem? Jordan Fox didn't fulfill the 3-year commitment he signed up for, so the Army wants part of his signing bonus back. And it turns out he may not be alone. We've made numerous calls to the Pentagon regarding this policy, but have not heard back from anyone. Jordan Fox, who is the soldier who got that letter, joining us now along with his mother, Susan Wardasak, and on the phone with us is Marine Sergeant Todd Bowers, who served 2 tours in Iraq. He is now in the reserves, also serves as the Director of Government Affairs for the group Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, which works to make sure vets are taken care of when they come home. Jordan, when you come home, you get this letter asking for $2,800 back and then threatening to charge you interest if you don't pay within 30 days. What are you feeling? What are you thinking when you read that letter?
I was very shocked and surprised, a little disappointed, but I knew something had to be wrong somewhere. There had to be a mistake. So
you think there's a mistake? Did you call and say, look, this can't be right?
I did. I wasn't quite sure who to contact because it doesn't really give a lot of information on where to raise your questions. So I contacted my local congressman and asked him what to do about it.
And he told you, you know what, this is just the way it is, you're going to have to pay it back?
No, he agreed with me that there had to be a mistake somewhere, something was wrong, and he started looking into it.
So when you first enlisted, what were you told about your bonus?
I was told that I would have to complete my basic training and my job training, but that if for some reason I didn't complete my full 3 years, it would be recuperated.
Recuperated, but this was a different situation, you feel, because you're injured. Susan, I know you met with the president this past spring because you actually run an organization that sends care packages to soldiers. You've sent thousands of them overseas at this point. The president, as I understand it, contacted you when Jordan was injured to express his concern, and then you get this letter.
Yeah.
What are you thinking when this happens?
Well, I was thinking that there must have been an error, but my second thought is even more important than my first thought. My first thought was, my goodness, this is outrageous. This can't be. But my second thought was, we have some 28,000 returning wounded veterans. What is happening to them? And I immediately called Congressman Tim Murphy, and we spoke about it. And I have to tell you that it's wrong. There's a bill before House now. Representative Jason Altmaier, I think the bill is 3793, the Guaranteed Veterans Bonus Act. Mm-hmm. And that act, if it becomes law, and if I was talking to the president tonight, I would implore him to stroke pen to paper right now and make this bill law. And that would prevent this from ever happening again.
Because this is not the first time it's happened, as I understand it. Todd, this was actually discovered back in July. Again, we contacted the Army, we contacted the Pentagon, haven't heard from anybody, but I would imagine someone needs to sign off on a letter like this that's sent to Jordan asking for nearly $3 grand. How are these letters still getting through, Todd?
Well, that's the unfortunate part. It seems that the findings that we found about this problem was actually highlighted in July by the President's own Commission on the Care for Returning Wounded Warriors. And the DOD was informed of this information, and in the draft report they were able to say, yes, this is a problem and we are going to fix it. But here we are 3 months later and nothing has changed. And I really think there's a lot of folks sitting on their hands at the Department of Defense not jumping onto this. This needs to be retroactive. Anyone injured since 2001 deserves these bonuses.
And Jordan, there was an article out today that I read that said actually now the Army is saying, you know what, we were wrong, you don't have to pay that money. Is that correct?
Yes, this is absolutely true.
So why do you think that came about? Was it because you simply made a phone call and said, hey, I think there's a problem here, and they said, oh, you know what, our problem will resolve that, or was it something else?
I honestly think it has a lot to do with that. If I would have just rolled over and paid it, nobody would have known anything and nobody would have said anything.
Does this change how you feel about the Army?
Absolutely not. I joined the Army for a reason. I wanted to serve my country. I'm proud to have done that. I would do it again right now, yes.
Susan, does it change anything? I see you smiling at your face who says that, and I can see how proud you are. But you also expressed your outrage and your frustration to us.
I am. I know that the DOD has to correct this error. I know that this bill that's before us has to become law. It's a DOD policy to ask for recruitment. It's unfair. It's not patriotic at all. But I'm very proud of my son, and I'm very proud of our military. And I would implore all of your viewers to get out, write their local senator, congressman, make phone calls, and drive this bill 3793 to law.
Todd, Jordan just mentioned, maybe if he would have rolled over, nothing would have happened if he had just paid that $3,000. Todd, do you have any idea how many returning service members who aren't able to serve because they were wounded may have paid back a portion of their bonus?
Well, I think what's more important to focus on is that even if one individual is affected by this, it is a problem. I was up at Walter Reed a few weeks ago, and I'm hearing of individuals that are being discharged and not receiving their bonuses. I think the numbers are going to be far higher than we're expecting to see. And what's very upsetting about this entire situation is that it took Jordan and his mother to go to Congress, to go to the media, to get this situation rectified when the Department of Defense has known about this problem since July. The administration informed them of this problem, and they did not move on it. And I think that's really too bad that veterans are really out there having to fight on their own.
Todd Bowers, Susan Wardisak, and Jordan Fox, thank you all for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Todd and Jordan, thank you for your